So high leverage practices are those strategies that have abundance of empirical support, meaning we've got strong research evidence that if teachers engage in these practices, we're actually going to see promotion in student engagement, increased achievement, and decreases in challenging behavior. Some of the strategies that we build in within our PBL work, particularly looking at that classroom level, are things such as clearly defined rules and expectations. So the idea is that each classroom teacher will take their school-wide expectations, but then adapt and adopt to make them their own. So for example, if one of the school-wide rules is respect, each teacher would adapt and adopt and look at specific behaviors on how they show respect in their classroom. Other strategies include high rates of positive specific feedback. A lot of misrules and a lot of misunderstanding about what that is. You know, one of the things I get all the time is, oh, you're just bribing kids to behave. And I point out that bribery by definition means giving money or favor to do something illegal. When I'm asking children to be respectful, I'm not asking them to do anything illegal. Key to mastery of any behavior, whether it's a math problem, whether it's learning to read, is feedback. In the absence of feedback, it's very difficult to learn, it's very difficult to master those skills, including social skills. Other strategies that are high leverage practices include increasing opportunities to respond. So the more opportunities kids have to respond, the more engaged, again, achievement goes up, challenging behavior goes down. So an opportunity to respond could be something as simple as a choral response. So we'll ask the entire class, what's the capital of Queensland? And they all respond, hopefully. Hopefully they get it correct, and if not, you know that right away. Other strategies, particularly that work really well at the secondary level, are like dry erase boards. So I might be the chemistry teacher, and I say, okay, guys, what's the chemical formula for sugar? And they have to diagram it out and then hold it up. So the logic is, instead of saying, okay, class, what's the capital of Queensland? Mary. Well, only Mary has a chance to respond. 28 other kids don't. Hopefully the teacher will call on them down the track, so to speak. But by engaging in those strategies to increase more opportunities for kids, again, as I said, achievement goes up, problem behaviors go down. Other high leverage practice strategies include carefully organizing your time within instruction. So one of the mistakes we sometimes see teachers do is they do too much sort of talking at kids. So if you have an hour, think about it in terms of thirds. So a third of that hour is me, the teacher, actually teaching the new concept or adding new ideas to a concept I've already taught. A third of the class period then are kids actually practicing, but with lots of supervision. Because one of the things we don't want to have happen are kids practicing errors, so to speak. And then a third of that class period is independent work. Sometimes we see that distribution sort of out of whack. Teachers spend way too much time talking, or they don't do enough sort of setup, or they don't give enough supervision initially when kids are practicing, and so kids are making a lot of errors. And so now not only do we have to go back and reteach, but we have to sort of undo and unlearn the errors. Other strategies that are high leverage practices include differentiating instruction. So making sure we map the kids' ability level and engage them at that level, and then continue to move them forward as they go. If I could only teach teachers to do two things, I would basically teach them to increase their opportunities to respond, because that, in essence, kind of folds in a lot of other high leverage practices. So it's increasing your instruction, but immediately practice opportunity. It's also giving you high rates of opportunities to give kids positive, specific feedback. If I could only do one, I would do opportunities to respond. If I could do two, I would then look at rules and procedures and routines, making sure kids are able to come into the classroom, know what's expected, they practice it, and it facilitates learning.